Welcome back to a new episode of Tech Tuesday. I know many of you are shifting your mindset for the last quarter, reviewing and preparing for finals. This week's episode focuses on big end-of-the-year project ideas to keep your students learning. I'm really excited about today's topic because once AP testing and SOLs are finished, many of you will get a chance to try big ideas and create really innovative projects. Like these two from last school year when I worked with Mrs. Webb's 6th graders to create book trailers and choose your own adventure stories. With the book trailers, students picked a book they had read during the year, creating storyboards to summarize the important details and adding a catchy ending without giving away the end of the book. Mrs. Webb was then going to take these trailers and add them via QR codes to the inside flap of the books in her classroom library, so students could view them and make decisions about which books to read. This idea could absolutely be used in any content area. Students don't have to read a book, they can take any concept, idea, or process learned throughout the year and create a trailer out of it, with links to sites or articles for the audience to learn more. You can use these trailers for the next school year as a way to get incoming students interested in topics you'll be teaching. We also created Choose Your Own Adventure stories from the novel Hatchet. With a partner, students rewrote the ending of Hatchet by creating several options for an audience to choose from. They planned out each option on an index card, which helped them organize their new endings, and then designed their own Google slide presentations, linking choices to other slides. Students viewed each group's presentation in a digital gallery walk and gave feedback to each group. Mrs. Webb's students really got into this project and came up with some really creative options. Now, if you really wanted to challenge your students, you could have them create an entire Choose Your Own Adventure website. I met Michael Green last November at Ed Camp Nova, and he told the group about how he has students use Google Sites to create stories with graphics that link to different pages within the site, what he calls Surf Your Own Adventure. This is his example using Sleepy Hollow. He adds in background music, images, and makes it truly unique. I think students would really be into creating something like this. And speaking of websites, you could also split students into groups and assign different concepts they've learned throughout your class, with each group creating their own page of the site. They could create instructional videos, guides, add images, and teach others about these concepts. Google Sites allows for multiple collaborators, so each group could work on a different page at the same time. You could do something similar in Google Slides, where instead of different pages, students work on their own slides. Turn this into a digital book or resource guide by changing the slide size to 8.5 by 11. Another great way for students to share their knowledge is through video. Students can create screencasts using either Screencastify or Revideo, or it could take the form of an infomercial, instructional video, talk show, or newscast, in which you can use Revideo or Adobe Spark Video. Students could also make a survival video, such as how to survive an AP class, or things you should know for the 8th grade. This is a great introductory way to use a video in your classroom because everyone can be part of the brainstorming and creation processes. Whatever option you choose, let your students be creative and make sure they storyboard their ideas or have a script. I'll share a link to a Google Drive folder I have with various storyboard options down below. Now, let me get on my soapbox for a minute. I am a big believer in checking completed storyboards before students start recording. This should be a checkpoint area where you get to check their knowledge, redirect them if needed, and help stop any issues before the final product is done and you don't have time to go back and fix it. Why have students record a final product that has incorrect information and isn't useful for you to use in future classes? Companies who make videos for public consumption wouldn't create a video with misinformation and then go back to check if they were accurate afterwards. They would lose thousands of dollars reshooting footage. So why would we want students doing the same thing? The most important part of creating a video isn't shooting the footage or editing it. It's in the writing of the story. So by creating checkpoint times, you have an opportunity to talk with your students about their learning, why they did or didn't include things, and not only continue teaching them about the video process, but also the learning process. Students shouldn't get to film until you are satisfied with their script or storyboard. I know it may sound like ranting, but this is an important step in the process and something that should be emphasized. Once students have a final product, you can add videos as unlisted instead of public to use in a YouTube channel and have all of the videos in one easy place for students to view through a link that you give them. No one else will be able to find the videos unless they have the link. Now, you can also give your students a choice between video or audio. ReVideo recently announced a new feature for just publishing audio, which would be similar to a podcast. Some of these same video ideas can be transferred to audio, as you can still do infomercials, a radio talk show, or a newscast. By adding music, students can create an introduction, ending, and transitions. Again, create a checkpoint time to assess their script before they record. I'm also a fan of Google Tour Builder, which allows students to create any kind of tour and add locations, images, links, videos, descriptions, and much more. Students could create a visual tour of a person's life or show important locations from major events like the American Revolution or Civil Rights Movement. You can also create your own tour like this one called The Super Sleuth, Chet's Cheesy Chicken Chimichanga Recipe. Students will travel the world and meet with secret agents, following the case and listening to the testimony of agents and witnesses closely to help uncover the trail of the thief and put them behind bars. It's like a scavenger hunt, but much more. Because it's also the end of the year, this can be a great time to let students connect with their passions. Is there something they really like to do and can share it with others? Or perhaps they have a cause that they want to rally behind, such as homelessness or health issues. Let them create a project with this in mind. You may also just want students to reflect on their accomplishments from this year. PictoChart is known for infographics and is great to use with data and charts. You may have had students set goals for themselves at the beginning of the year or the semester, and using this tool is a good way to visually see their goals achieved or the progress that they've made. Students can add images and charts that represent their performance growth. This can also easily be shared with parents and administrators. Check out this post from PictoChart to help you get started. The link will be down below. If you're still looking for ideas, you can check out episode 9 from season 2 of Tech Tuesday, where I talked about how to rock the end of the school year with ideas from Ditch That Textbook. If you choose to do one of these projects, please share it with me at misspriester_ITRT or by email. I'm looking forward to seeing what you create. Now, a few reminders before we close out this episode. If you watch the last 5 episodes from this season, episodes 13 through 17, and come up with a lesson plan from one of these episodes, you'll get 5 PD points. For today's episode, you don't have to create a lesson plan surrounding only the ideas I've shared. If one of these ideas inspires you to create your own, that's great too. Here's what you need to do to make sure you get all of your points. Number 1, submit the form in the description area below telling me what you learned in each episode, and add the file with your lesson plan. Number 2, register for the PD session called Tech Tuesday PD Series in Teach Point. You must do both steps in order to get your points. The form will be available until June 14th, 2019. I also want to hear about your favorite technology projects that you've done in your classrooms this year and feature them on the last episode of the season. I can come film you, or you can film yourself and send me your video. Or, as I know some of you are not thrilled with being on camera, I can record your voice and we'll show pictures of the project instead. Connect with me on email or Twitter if you're interested in sharing. I will need recordings by May 14th. That's all for this episode of Tech Tuesday. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in 2 weeks.